bit of rain gonna stop a sprint car parade, and so it didn't, and boy, the racing was good. And speaking of good, good Saturday morning to you. Welcome to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live. Brought to you by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Racing Radio here on Outlaw Country AM 1400. I'm your host, Mike Stanhope, and thank you for joining us this morning. An off week out at Cocopah Speedway as the dust settles from two great nights of racing last weekend. The Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series Traveling Road Show now back out on the road after 2 days of action in the Cocopah Cup Challenge. Here, though, the racing returns next Saturday with round number 3 of the 2014 Cocopah Speedway Racing Series. All 5 divisions will be back in action as IMCA Modifieds, Pro Stocks, the Fisher Automotive Street Stocks, IMCA Northern Sport Mods, and the Napa Auto Parts IMCA Hobby Stocks are all getting set to be primed up for action next Saturday on the chase for the 2014 season championships. Powder Puff action also on the slate next Saturday, too. And hey, one of the drivers right in the thick of the Street Stock points chase, Chula Vista's Manny Baldiviez, driver of the number 77 Street Stock, will be joining us to talk about the season so far in just a few minutes. First, though, final recap of last Saturday's Winged Warfare, the stars of the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series and the first 2 rounds of the 2014 Cocopah Cup Challenge. And that challenge remains alive as Rico Abreu, driving the number 24 from out of Rutherford, California, took both the Friday and Saturday night sprint car features. Abreu took his heat and led early Friday night before being overtaken by Roger Crockett. Crockett, though, misreading the flags at the end, losing the groove momentarily, and that was all Abreu needed to retake the lead and the win. On Saturday night, Abreu again strong throughout, ultimately getting to the lead with 3 laps to go. With the cushion pushed up high, early race leader Christopher Bell just brushed the wall coming out of turn number 2, and Abreu was poised to pounce.
Yeah, the check just got so finessed there at the end. It was right around the wall, and it was really demanding on the cushion, and Bell made that one mistake, and I was right there. I just kind of, raced my own race. I got some traffic, and I was sliding, guys, and, really grinded on my tires. It was tough driving by them lappers when they were running side by side, but other than that, Paul Silva gave me a great race car. I just got to thank everyone behind this team, with Jeannie Beller and BR Motorsports, and, all the people that, with Brown and Miller, they all do a great job to make me come out here and do what I love.
The Friday and Saturday night feature wins were Abreu's first in ASCS national competition.
It's incredible. Like I said, I just got a great team, and this is a great facility. One of the nicest racetracks we come to that I've ever been to, and it races so well. It gets nice and wide, and you can a lot of room for late racing and slide jobs.
That Saturday night win for Abreu nearly didn't come about as rain hit the track just as opening ceremonies were taking place, but a yeoman effort by the Cocopah Speedway track and push crew with a big assist from the Street Stock Division drivers enabled the racing surface to be saved, it ultimately producing record fast lap times as Sam Heffertape Jr. laid down a fast lap of 14.80 seconds. That was just over a tenth under the old record of 14.91, set all the way back in 1991 by Mark Kinzer, driving a 410 Sprinter. Running second to Abreu both Friday and Saturday nights, Christopher Bell, who in 4 Cocopah Speedway starts, has now made the podium 3 times. Fisher Automotive Street Stocks also saw action last Friday and Saturday nights at Cocopah Speedway, a 2-night sweep as well for Alpine California's Mike Harlan in his number 7 race machine. Harlan, the defending Street Stock champion, missed the first 2 races of 2014, and in victory lane, he said this year, well, it's simply all about enjoying the racing.
Yep, just on the fun. It was really good winning the points championship last year, but it's really stressful, and it gets really competitive, and, friends start fighting, and so I took myself out of the first 2 races, so I'm not in point contention, so I could just go out and have a good time.
A good time for Harlan and for the fans as well, as 5 different cars took turns at the front of the field before Harlan took control with 6 laps to go. Yuma's Adolfo Noriega second in the Saturday feature, Brawley's Tommy Daffrin third in the number 18. Long night of racing to be sure last Saturday night, but effort overcomes, and in the end, everyone in attendance treated to one spectacular show. And as we noted, the Street Stocks are in action again this coming Saturday night, while the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series returns in November for the final 2 rounds of the Cocopah Cup Challenge and to close out the ASCS season. As we head in on action next Saturday, quick look at the points in each of the 5 divisions slated for action. In the IMCA Modifieds, it'll be Lance Murray leading the points with Imperial Steve McCullough in the 2 spot. Brawley's Russell Allen in the number 3 position with Aaron Murray and Brian Schultz rounding out your top 5. One name not in that top 5 that we're used to seeing, Imperial's Dwayne Rogers and his machine. He's missed the first portion of the season with engine issues, getting ready to get back, in fact, planning a 2014 debut today over at the Imperial Fairgrounds, where competition set this afternoon for California Lightning Sprints, Modifieds, Dwarfs, and a vintage sprint midget exhibition race on a quarter-mile oval that uses a part of the front straight from the old 3/8 track there. Our best to all who get in on that competition this afternoon. Back to Cocopah Speedway and the Pro Stocks. Brett Asher is on top there with Joe Haynes in the number 2 spot. Brett Samala, the 3rd position. Steve Anthony sits 4th in the points with Steve Nash and Mike Lurwill, a 2-way tie for 5th. Fisher Automotive Street Stocks, Manny Baldiviez on top there with Joey Essery, Adolfo Noriega, Jimmy Davey, and Justin Jones rounding out your top 5. In the IMCA Northern Sport Mods, Timmy Reese on top of the standings, a 1-point advantage over Josh Wood, Shannon Mohammed, Cody Dafford, and Chris Toth rounding out your top 5 there. And finally, in the Napa Auto Parts IMCA Hobby Stocks, it is Brent Wofford on top of the standings with Craig Evers, Brian Johnson, Jason Beshears, and Taylor Brizzagella rounding out your top 5. We'll get into all of those standings in more detail on next week's Race Day edition of Laptime Live. And with that, we are getting set to get ready for next Saturday night and the 3rd round of the 2014 Cocopah Speedway Racing Series. Manny Baldiviez set again for action in his number 77 Street Stock. Manny on top of the Street Stock points, and he is set to join us next here on Racing Radio. Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating.
It's all about cars and music all weekend long at the Caballeros de Yuma. Midnight at the Oasis is Friday, March 7th through Sunday, March 9th. Be sure you've got your tickets to the concert Friday night when the Guns N' Roses tribute band Guns 4 Roses hits the stage, followed by the Journey tribute band Lights. They'll take the party right up till closing time Friday night. Then Saturday night features tribute bands for the Monkees, the Beach Boys, and more. Friday night tickets are $5 for kids, $6 to $15, $10 if you're over 16. Get your passport passes for the weekend at the Caballeros main office. Go to midnightattheoasis.net for more information.
The all-new Spring Taste of Home Cooking Show is coming to Yuma. Grab your friends and family and join us at the Gila Ridge High School on Wednesday, March 12th at 6:30 p.m. Get your own magazine of recipes and follow along as Chef Eric Villegas cooks up some great seasonal dishes. Tickets are on sale now at www.brownpapertickets.com or go to the Yuma Sun at 2055 South Arizona Avenue. Taste of Home is presented by the Yuma Sun and ILOI Institute.
Community matters to Z93 and Outlaw Country. Crossroads Mission is holding a softball tournament on March 29th. Crossroads, in collaboration with Yuma County Drug Court and the Yuma County Anti-Drug Coalition, invite you to the Joe Henry softball fields on Saturday, March 29th from 9 to 3. It's a fun and sober event, and it's open to the public. They'll have free hot dogs, too. Come out for a day of softball fun. Get your team signed up early. For more information or to sign up, please call Chris at 783-9362. That's 783-9362. The Joe Henry softball fields are located at Colorado Street and North 23rd Avenue. If you'd like us to share your nonprofit community event, please send us the information at least 2 weeks prior. You can email them to jblackwell@z93yuma.com or fax them to 343-1710. Community matters to Z93 and Outlaw Country. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, and we'll share your community event on our pages too. Like us because we like you.
Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management will be hosting a free educational seminar Tuesday, March 11th at 6 p.m. at the Yuma County Main Library. Learn the fundamentals of investing and how to handle uncertain markets. Discover how to avoid making the same mistakes over and over and how not to outlive your assets. This truly easy-to-understand educational seminar will help you make the most of your retirement years. Call 329-1700 to reserve your spot today. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC.
Enter for your chance to win lunch for two at Spanky's Chop House every week on each of our station's websites at Z93Yuma.com or OutlawCountry1400.com. A winner from each station will be drawn at random each Friday. We'll start from scratch the following Monday. Lunch for 2 at Spanky's Chop House.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. Stack their desks one atop the other, and it's a pile more than 17,000 feet high. Go to boostup.org and learn how you can help. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
The City of Yuma's Centennial Celebration begins with a week of colossal events, April 7th through April 12th. Monday will be a free community ice cream social and the lighting of 2 new Main Street signs by Governor Jan Brewer. Find out more online at Yuma100.com.
America's most seriously injured veterans are getting all the care and benefits they've earned. Thanks to Paralyzed Veterans of America. Changing lives, building futures. To learn more, visit PVA.org, a public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
You're listening to Racing Radio. It's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating here on Outlaw Country, AM 1400. Once again, I'm your host, Mike Stanhope, looking ahead on this edition of Laptime Live to next Saturday's third round of the 2014 Cocopah Speedway Racing Series. And joining us in studio this morning, the man on top of the points in the Fisher Automotive Street Stocks, Chula Vista's Manny Baldiviez, driver of the number 77 IMCA stock car. And good morning to you, Manny.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for joining us this morning. We've been trying to get you here in the studio for quite some time, and glad it finally worked out.
Yes, we have. I've been a busy camper here lately, but I'm glad I'm able to be here today.
Well, we thank you so much for taking time out this morning to join us here on Laptime Live. Just by way of familiarity, tell us how you first got involved in racing and kind of what led you to where you are now.
Well, I was racing three-wheelers back in the late 70s, early 80s. My dad was a TT racer back years ago in Ascot and all in California, and it was in my blood to be out here. We had a friend of ours, David Metchie, that passed away a couple years ago. And somebody that was an avid desert off-road racer. We'd go out to the desert, every couple of weeks out there. And he passed away loading up his car. His throttle got stuck, and he died. And Mike Harlan and I decided to get into racing somehow. Mike got a car. And he ended up finding a car for myself, and we started out in Verona Speedway and back in 2012, and from there on it took off, and we're really enjoying what we're doing.
And you had some success fairly quickly into Victory Lane at least one time at Verona, I believe, in July of 12?
I had about three victory lanes there at Verona in 2012. I was, I think, 13 points out of championship, and it was a good year. Had a lot of fun. Enjoyed myself.
And I'm sure a lot of learning went on. A
lot of learning. Verona is quite different than here at Cocopah. It's night and day. Over here is we got some good friends out here. The track is a wonderful track here. Greg's been putting on a great show. And
so had some success at Verona, but ultimately wound up coming over and going racing at Cocopah Speedway. How did that first come about?
Yeah, well, we decided to come over the Turkey Day 2-day event. Mike and I brought our cars out here. It was, like it says, it was a learning curve for us to come out here. Everybody says this is a nice track, so we changed out our gears and came out here and had some good times. Like it says, learning from Verona to here is like it says, it's night and day.
And made a lot of friendships pretty darn quickly.
A lot of friendships, a lot of respect from everybody. That's one good thing here at Cocopah. That's I can say that friendship goes a long ways.
That's always a nice thing to see as well. Now, once you got into the action at Cocopah Speedway, you knocked on the door, and I mean knocked on it hard for several months, and then finally made that breakthrough into Victory Lane at Cocopah Speedway. Just how satisfying was that, considering the amount of effort and work you put in?
Yes, it was, Mike. I've been trying to get there. Like it says, I consider myself an amateur still, trying to learn the sport. Car setup is the golden rule, and I have a great car put out by Jet Racing, and I'm still in the learning curve, and it just takes a little bit more time, and I've got that car a little bit more time to dial that thing in and be back on victory lane again.
We're gonna come back and talk a little bit more about that car in just a moment, but with just a handful of races so far in 2014, any initial impressions of what's happening competition-wise now that we're really starting to head into the meat of the schedule?
Yes, cars are, I can tell you right now, cars are getting faster and faster. People are getting a grasp on car setup. People are learning from other racers, taking peeks here and there, and trying to beat the other guy. And they're becoming very successful. It's getting tougher and tougher to be up front, and it could be a number of 5-6 guys that could be winning the championship for that for that race.
Kind of setting a tone in 2014. We noted the breakthrough win at Cocopah Speedway last year. That kind of opened up the floodgates a little bit, because you've been a fixture in victory lane since.
Yes, like it says, Mike, it's doing changes to my car little by little, trying to keep up with everybody. That's the thing. Everybody's getting better and better, and that's how you become successful out there, and having patience out there, and getting over there to victory lane.
Wonderful to see everybody stepping up their games, especially when that happens all at the same time. We're talking with Manny Baldiviez, driver of the number 77 Street Stock here on Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, brought to you by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. And we'll be back with more in just a moment.
It's all about cars and music all weekend long at the Cocopah Yuma. Midnight at the Oasis is Friday, March 7th through Sunday, March 9th. Be sure you've got your tickets to the concert Friday night, when the Guns N' Roses tribute band Guns for Roses hits the stage, followed by the Journey tribute band Lights. They'll take the party right up till closing time Friday night. Then Saturday night features tribute bands for the Monkees, the Beach Boys, and more. Friday night tickets are $5 for kids, $6 to $15, $10 if you're over 16. Get your passport passes for the weekend at the Caballeros main office. Go to midnightattheoasis.net for more information.
The all-new Spring Taste of Home Cooking Show is coming to Yuma. Grab your friends and family and join us at the Gila Ridge High School on Wednesday, March 12th at 6:30 p.m. Get your own magazine of recipes and follow along as Chef Eric Villegas cooks up some great seasonal dishes. Tickets are on sale now at www.brownpapertickets.com or go to the Yuma Sun at 2055 South Arizona Avenue. Taste of Home is presented by the Yuma Sun and ILOI Institute.
Community matters to Z93 and Outlaw Country. Crossroads Mission is holding a softball tournament on March 29th. Crossroads, in collaboration with Yuma County Drug Court and the Yuma County Anti-Drug Coalition, invite you to the Joe Henry softball fields on Saturday, March 29th from 9 to 3. It's a fun and sober event, and it's open to the public. They'll have free hot dogs, too. Come out for a day of softball fun. Get your team signed up early. For more information or to sign up, please call Chris at 783-9362. That's 783-9362. The Joe Henry softball fields are located at Colorado Street and North 23rd Avenue. If you'd like us to share your nonprofit community event, please send us the information at least 2 weeks prior. You can email them to jblackwell@z93yuma.com or fax them to 343-1710. Community matters to Z93 and Outlaw Country. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, and we'll share your community event on our pages too. Like us because we like you.
Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management will be hosting a free educational seminar Tuesday, March 11th at 6 p.m. at the Yuma County Main Library. Learn the fundamentals of investing and how to handle uncertain markets. Discover how to avoid making the same mistakes over and over and how not to outlive your assets. This truly easy-to-understand educational seminar will help you make the most of your retirement years. Call 329-1700 to reserve your spot today. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC.
Enter for your chance to win lunch for two at Spanky's Chop House every week on each of our station's websites at Z93Yuma.com or OutlawCountry1400.com. A winner from each station will be drawn at random each Friday. We'll start from scratch the following Monday. Lunch for two at Spanky's Chop House.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. Stack their desks one atop the other, and it's a pile more than 17,000 feet high. Go to boostup.org and learn how you can help. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
The City of Yuma's Centennial Celebration begins with a week of colossal events, April 7th through April 12th. Monday will be a free community ice cream social and the lighting of 2 new Main Street signs by Governor Jan Brewer. Find out more online at Yuma100.com.
America's most seriously injured veterans are getting all the care and benefits they've earned. Thanks to Paralyzed Veterans of America. Changing lives, building futures. To learn more, visit pva.org, a public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
And welcome back to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live Racing Radio here on Outlaw Country AM 1400. Presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Again, joined on the show this morning by Chula Vista's Manny Baldiviez, driver of the number 77 IMCA stock car. And Manny, in so noting IMCA stock car, you were one of the first drivers, along with Mike Harlan, to make the transition into a new car, meeting the new rules package, which takes full effect in 2015. What kind of drove you into that?
Well, what drove me into that, Mike, we knew we were going to be coming up to IMCA rules in 2015, and Mike and I decided to look up some of the big heart of the racing facilities up there in the Midwest, and we started off with up in Minnesota, and worked our way all the way down to Nebraska, Iowa, and looked up some of the major manufacturers over there because they race, 3-4 times a week up there. So we went to different facilities, Harris, Jet, and we came up with Jet as our manufacturer to build our cars.
A time factor that kind of played into your decision to go that way as things have progressed. We've seen purpose-built race cars. We've seen people refab existing street stocks. We've seen some ground-up construction as well.
Yes, and I found out that a lot of the guys that are building up to an IMCA car are very successful with our cars out there. They're right there with us, and I give them props to building really good cars, keeping up with a so-called IMCA car.
Now, when we first saw you wheeling a car at Cocopah Speedway, it was a Camaro. Can you tell us about the adjustment going from that type of car into what's allowable now under the IMCA stock car rules?
Camaro, I had a yellow Camaro, spin a lot, had a lot of miles on it, but having to go from a leaf spring car to a metric car is unbelievable. The rollover, the car is a Cadillac compared to that old Camaro, though. But I learned a lot from that Camaro, but now it's a lot of. I'm really enjoying myself.
And again, we're kind of back to learning curve, since there was a learning curve with the Camaro that kind of had to go out the window with the metric car.
Yeah, exactly, and I, like I says, I still consider myself an amateur, still learning my car, still learning car setup, but really happy that the track is going to be going IMCA.
I want to talk about the rule of P's here for a moment, and I'm going to kind of modify off of the rule of P's a little bit. You seem to be the embodiment of proper preparation provides potent performance. Have noted that you really don't have much that you're doing on the car once you pull in. You pull in and you're ready to go.
Yes, Mike. I still spend. I like to spend a good day and a half on the car, going back and checking my car car setup and making sure things didn't move, changing lubricants, transmission fluid, what have you, and getting it to where I don't have any mistakes out there to where a car breaks down or what have you.
And if something were to happen, that kind of gives you that open time to be able to deal with it a little more easily.
Exactly. It being a new car, there shouldn't have anything going wrong with it, but you have to be on top of your game if you want to be on winner's circle.
Manny, you get a front row view, so to speak, of action that, it's been pretty incredible. 2013 and what we've seen so far in 2014. Any word you'd pass along to the casual fan who's maybe not been out to take in a race as of yet?
Yeah, if anybody's out there listening, if you guys take the time on a Saturday night when we're racing out there, please come out and come out and enjoy yourselves. We put on a pretty good show, and if you, it's a cheap fun, $10, $12, $15, and you're in and you're having a good time.
Any word you'd like to pass along to folks who help to support you to help make your racing possible at Cocopah Speedway?
Well, my number one supporter is my wife, Andrea, and I want to thank her for putting up with me and enjoying what I enjoy doing here at the track.
The lovely Andrea is in studio with us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us here. Other folks who helped you to keep things motivating for you,
well, Mike Harlan and I, we got the buddy system out here. I like to thank him for helping me out last year and any time. That's what friends are for. I want to thank all the fans that come out currently that are cheering me on. Here I got quite a few fans out there, and thank you for coming out and try to bring your neighbors and what have you to have a good time out here.
Well, Manny, been a pleasure to watch you in competition. Looking forward to a whole lot more fun as 2014 rolls along, and we want to say thank you again for joining us this morning here on Laptime Live.
Thank you, Mike, and appreciate you having me.
And thank you for being in with us this morning. We continue here on Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live. Again, looking forward to action next Saturday night out at the Diamond in the Desert. But that's not all that's going on out at the complex of facilities that includes Cocopah Speedway and Cocopah Casino. And in this morning to tell us more about those happenings, good morning, Anna Corpus.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great weekend. If you happen to be driving over to the Ray Kroc Field for midnight at the Oasis, make sure to check out the Cocopah booth, as Cocopah Casino is the main sponsor of the event. And after a cruise on over to the casino, Los Tericolas are performing live during two shows. One is at 7:30 and the other is at 9:30 p.m. The band brings its own sound of romanticas. Tickets are $20. Across the parking lot at Wild River, Salmar performed live inside the bar and lounge. Dance the night away to norteño music and enjoy drink specials all night long. And Sunday, stop by the 19th Hole Restaurant at Cocopah Bend for brunch between 10 and 2 p.m. Cocopah Bend is located at 6800 Strand Avenue. And Rio Colorado Golf Course and Grill starts its spring sale on Monday. Get 20% off on all golf merchandise until the 16th. Rio is located at 220 North Marshall Loop Road in Somerton. And there's always tons of events taking place at Cocopah Enterprises. Keep up to date by liking their Facebook pages. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Anna. Information on all of those activities, shows, and more available by logging into Cocopah.com and, of course, through CocopahResort.com. And other specialized content and information regarding Cocopah Speedway and the 2014 racing season is available as well via CocopahSpeedway.com. Be sure, too, that you like us on Facebook, and be sure to take advantage of that option for online ticketing. Hey, before we're out of here for the day, want to pass along a special happy birthday greeting this morning to Cocopah Speedway flagman Tom Dalen. Hey, Tom, make sure you celebrate big today. Our thanks once again to Manny Baldiviez for taking time out of his busy day to talk with us this morning. He's set for action next Saturday night tonight in the Cocopah Speedway Racing Series. Again, gates open at 5. Racing underway at 7 p.m. Next Saturday, out at the Diamond in the Desert. And Powder Puff action, again, on the card, too. You've been listening to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Back with more next Saturday morning, 11 a.m., here on Outlaw Country AM 1400.